Hello. For my term project, I'll be assembling this Freenove robot dog kit. The parts that are needed are, the kit itself, some 18650 rechargeable batteries, and a Raspberry Pi 4. I've never used it yet, so see how it goes. So I took all the stuff out of the box. This is what the Raspberry Pi looks like. It's the processor, battery. Put the battery in here for the bot. It looks like these are some type of sensors. I don't know what these are. We'll see. All the parts that came with that. The good stuff. I don't even know. I'm not sure what this is. So, this here. These little parts. I guess this is the body, supposedly. So yeah, this is kind of the unboxing here. I don't know what that is either. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, and there's a little, I guess, tutorial card. So yeah, good stuff. So the first part of assembling the robot, it seems that we have to open these little boxes up, and there are 12 of them, these little boxes in here, and in there they have these little parts right here. I guess they're called a disc servo arm. I'm not sure what that means, but the idea is to screw them into these little body pieces right there, and these are the pieces that we need to screw this little part here. So go in the boxes, find this white piece, and screw them on. So the bracket, well, the pieces have been mounted onto the bracket. Now we have to mount this, I guess they call it a power shield, onto the bracket. Okay, so the shield has been mounted onto the brackets. I also went ahead and installed the LED module. Well, I bolted it in and into this piece of frame, and we're going to gonna screw it in like this next. Okay, so the top piece of the bracket has been mounted. Next, I connected the LED 3-pin from the module to the power source, which again is kind of under right here. And the next step is to mount the Raspberry Pi computer on top, like so. Okay, after the Raspberry Pi computer was mounted on top, I pushed in this connector piece right here, which, as you can see, it connects the Raspberry Pi. The connectors right here connects the Raspberry Pi to the power supply down below right here. And with that piece, the main body has now been completed. Next off is we have to assemble the legs of the bot. So for the legs, the first part is to mount the servo right here into the leg, and we gotta connect it with this little piece right here. And we gotta do it 4 times because, there's 4 legs. So after the servos have been mounted inside of these little bracket pieces right here with this bolt, you want to combine. It's kind of like a puzzle piece, so they kind of match together. So in the end, you get like a solid brick piece like this right here. So this is kind of a combination of combining two of those pieces together. So it's like a brick, like a block right here. And we need to do this 3 more times. Next, we're gonna be assembling the head, and I already started already, but we are pretty much attaching the ultrasonic module, which is this blue board right here, and we're just attaching it onto this little black frame piece. And then we're gonna take the camera, which is right here, and we're just gonna attach it down here below like that. And then we're going to mount this onto our body right here. So we got to the point of almost completely setting up the face, but then after you mount it on the frame, you have to, this head connects to a piece of the frame that's connected to the legs, and the legs have to be like the input strings. The wiring has to go in when you put in the legs. So the next step isn't actually to install the head. I'm going to go back and actually get the Raspberry Pi computer set up. So here is the video of it going right now. It's just an SD card, micro SD, installing the Raspberry Pi OS so that we can use it in our bot. And then you just insert the micro SD into this board to get all the files and settings that you want from the bot. So after the Raspberry Pi is set up, then I'll go to a video of myself attaching the legs. Quick update from where it is we had to plug the Raspberry. I had to actually take off the Raspberry Pi computer from the frame. Then I had to plug it into a LAN cable, which is not there anymore, but then also plug it into a power supply using a USB cord. When it was plugged into the internet, I was able to go through all the settings, and I was able to finally remote into the Raspberry Pi computer. So this is the Raspberry Pi right here. I then went ahead and cloned the repo from the Freenove site, and everything should be set up now. And then afterwards, next I have to go in and do some settings for like the camera and whatnot, and which is right up here. So more to come. After the Raspberry Pi has been set up, I remounted it back onto the frame, and then I took all these little servos right here that we did a little earlier and connected them all into these little servo ports. And I don't know if you could see them, but yeah, just plug all of them into there. So, and the batteries in there for now as well. Okay, so everything's plugged in, the bot is turned on, and we are ready to install the legs. So from the parts earlier, we kind of put them all together to form something like this. It's just a matter of pressing them on, and then we just connect it to the bot. So we need to do this 3 more times. Okay, so it's finally starting to take shape. Had to mount the legs into a bracket before I could actually mount them onto the body. So all 4 of the legs are in now, and it's still working as expected, so it's pretty good. So going back to the headpiece, put it together, and then put the frame on it, and then mounted it onto the bracket. Now, it's starting to take shape. Alrighty, so I installed the camera wire. And now the bot isn't actually standing on its legs. It is standing on these stands that we mounted. I mounted this right here. And now we have to go into the software to actually calibrate the legs and calibrate the different movements that we want for the bot. So the next step is to calibrate the robot. So it's turned on right now. I think. Yeah, it's turned on right now. So I am on my Raspberry Pi terminal right here. And we're going to go ahead and run this script right here. So test the servo. So script executing. Oh. And it's trying to calibrate. So in terms of actions for the robot, you can play with the different things, customized things that you want it to do using this action.py file right here, right? So this whole thing is kind of a, as you can see, it's really big. It's just an entire file of different customized actions. And here are some of the pre-programmed customized actions that the robot can do. So for this demonstration of action, we're just gonna make the robot say hello. And what's supposed to happen is the robot just raises its hand right here. It raises it up and kind of waves to us like that. So how this is going to work is I'm in my Raspberry Pi terminal here. I'm going to go ahead and CD to that script. Let's see where we are. CD code. Where are we? CD server. Cool. So the action.py files right here, you can VI into it to edit it, but it's already edited. So I'm just gonna go ahead and run it. So Python action.py. Oh yeah, and for sure I want to turn the robot on. Oops. Kind of strict like that. So the robot just turned on. Oops. And I'm gonna go ahead and execute the script. Python, and here we go. There it is. The robot is raising his hand. Kind of a weird high, right? But it's raising its hand and it's moving. I guess kind of like it's how it's expected. You can see the hand is raised up like that. Keep in mind that it's still on its stand right here, so it's not really able to move. But it's raising its hand. So, and that's the action.py script.